inch plate, 300 yards.
Changed. Swallow bug. Extra protein.
Where the gun's going, and all the excess garment is behind me. So then as I draw up and clear the weapon, it worked quickly for me. I'm going to flip that magazine out, draw the other one in, and I'm going to do a 1-2 punch.
What's up, guys? What I've got for you today is a Bergara B14 Wilderness Terrain. This is a project rifle that I've put together specifically for an elk hunt that I've got coming up next year in October. I'm super excited about it. I've got a lot of gear to accumulate to be able to do the type of backpack hunting that I'm going to be doing. And this rifle is my choice to kind of do two things. One, to be able to do this hunt in Colorado, and also to kind of be a little bit of a life and liberty ranch defense type rifle. I've always kept a quote-unquote sniper rifle in my inventory, something that I'm capable of reaching out at extended distances and dealing with threats to liberty. You never know. Maybe the zombies will come. But to the rifle itself, this is a 24-inch 6.5 Creedmoor in a gray sniper Cerakote, is what Bergara calls it. It's equipped with an Omni brake, which is vented all the way around and can tend to kick up a little bit of dust if you're shooting all the way down close to the ground with a bipod. I throw out a little burlap underneath me, and that tends to take care of the problem. It's outfitted on top with tally rings and a Diamondback Tactical scope. Now, this is a heavy rifle in the setup that I've got. I've tried to go as light as I can, but still have a first focal plane scope that's mil-dot capable, that has tracking turrets that work pretty decently. And so far, this scope has been telling me the truth on the mil settings, on the measurements. I've been very pleased with it. And the clarity is pretty good. So the whole rifle overall, weight-wise, is 11.4 pounds. The rifle comes naked at 9.5, I believe. So, what's special about it? Other than sniper gray Cerakote and the oversized bolt knob, it's a Remington 700 that should have been built by Remington, but wasn't. So, hey, they gave Bergara a job. The action is 10 times smoother than any Remington you're going to pick up. I can't say that it's necessarily 10 times more accurate. That's probably not true, but out of the box, they guarantee 1 MOA, and from what I have seen out of this particular sample, it's more like half MOA. And as you'll see throughout this video, just the expression on my face, when I hit the 300-yard mark, when I was shooting sub 2-inch groups at 300 yards, color me impressed.
Oh my gosh. That's dang it, boy.
The stock is pretty fantastic, and one of the reasons why there is some additional weight, other than being a strictly polymer stock with some steel bedding for the pillars, for the action screws, this stock is equipped just like their HMR model. Internally, it has the exact same internal aluminum machine chassis, so you can pull the action out, put it back in, and have repeatable zero. So far in my testing with it, that has been true. The trigger on this system is different than the previous models. The 2021 model has an adjustable trigger that is adjustable from the outside without having to remove the action. Aside from that, they put some spirals in the bolt to lighten it up a little bit, and that's about it. You'll see there on the front of the rifle, I've got a little bitty section of Arca rail because I like to hunt off a tripod. It doesn't add hardly any weight to it. It's a skeletonized system. And the bipod on the front of the rifle, I never hunt with one of those on my rifle. I only use those at the range when I'm shooting on my belly to try to get data on the rifle. And this whole video is basically me trying to figure out where I'm at with my dope for my different ranges And then I'm going to start playing with some different ammo. Today we're shooting Hornady 147 grain ELD match. It's the stuff I could find on the shelf in the middle of Ammo-Geddon, and we are very happy to have it. A good friend of mine who I just finished forging a knife for brought payment for the knife and 2 boxes of 6.5 Creedmoor Hornady ELD match for me as a tip. That's a guy who knows how to tip a man right there. So sit back and enjoy. Appreciate your time.
So with some tri-dope, that's what I call it. I don't really know what the real dope is until I actually do it. At 400 feet elevation, which is where we are here in Arkansas, I should be coming up 0.5 mils. So I'm gonna go ahead and dial that up, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we'll see where we're at here. I'll go ahead and throw one more. That one looked better.
I gotta say, this Bergara B14 trigger for the 2021 model is superb. There is almost no pre-travel to the trigger. It breaks like glass at, I'm gonna guess, somewhere around 3 pounds, maybe a little bit less. And has almost no over travel. I'm a big stickler for the over travel. I can handle a heavy trigger, but if the trigger jumps after it breaks, it causes unnecessary movement as the action is doing what it needs to do to fire that round, and that can cause a problem. I can get used to a heavy trigger, but that over travel really gets to me. This rifle has a perfectly weighted trigger somewhere around at the 3 pound mark and just breaks so clean. It's very easy to shoot it well.
Oh, that's just scary. All 3 of those are just right on top of each other.
The magazines that Bergara provides with their rifles are very similar to the Magpul magazines. In fact, Magpul may be making them for Bergara. They feed just as smooth. But one of the key differences between the AICS magazine capable rifles that Bergara is making that is different from some of the bottom metal conversion kits that you can put on a Remington 700, they don't over insert. There's a built-in stop inside there. The magazine can only go so far, so you can't put pressure on the bottom of the magazine and induce a jam. The reliability of this system is top-notch. I did not experience any failures to feed, eject, or anything. And the magazines drop free whether they're full or empty with just the push of a finger. It's a very slick system. The reticle on this Diamondback Tactical scope is pretty unique. It's a Christmas tree style reticle on a first focal plane scope with some pretty precise mil measurements in the corners. I believe that goes down to 1/10 of a mil, which is the same click adjustments that you have on your turrets. So I was actually able to measure not just my group sizes, but also when I needed to make an adjustment, I could measure down to the 1/10 of a mil and then dial that adjustment and see the corresponding result that was true to life. So, so far for a scope that's under $400, it's in a first focal plane and actually has turrets that tell the truth, I'm pretty impressed. If all else fails and the turrets weren't exactly accurate, the etched reticle is never gonna lie. So using the reticle is also an option, but the turrets are working pretty well, and I prefer to use the turrets most of the time.
Boop. 1/10 of a mil. Tiny plate at 300 yards, and we're going to see what happens here.
Well, my conclusion thus far on this Bergara B14 Wilderness Terrain, sucker shoots lights out. My personal impression watching these groups form at 300 yards pretty much says it all. If you like this video, like and subscribe. We appreciate it. God bless.
Dead freaking center. Dead freaking center again.